Larry Holder, Jeff Duncan here with you, and the Pelicans are going to tip off on Saturday. They're in the playoffs for the first time since 2015. And, Jeff, I think if you look at the playoff matchups and the teams they could have played, and considering they don't have home court advantage, you look at, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think the Portland Trail Blazers are probably the most favorable matchup that the Pelicans could ask for.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, Larry. I mean, in the backcourt, obviously they're very formidable, but they have no one in the front court to contend with Anthony Davis. This is a team that the Pels have played well the last 2 years. They've actually won in Portland. Portland has a very favorable home court advantage there. The Pelicans are going to go into a hostile environment, but they have the confidence, I think, of having won there this season and last season. So I think it's a great matchup for them. I know they didn't want to play Utah. No one in the league wants to play Utah. So I think they've got a great shot of advancing, and it only happened for the second time since they've moved to New Orleans.
Well, I know on Duncan Holder we had Mark Spears on from the Undefeated, and he was saying that no one wants to play Utah. Well, guess what? He also said that no one wants to play the Pelicans because they're rolling. It seems like they've recovered from the DeMarcus Cousins injury, and this team – that final stretch, we were thinking, all right, if they could just go 3-2 and just kind of scratch their way into the playoffs, that would be fine. The fact that they ran roughshod over everyone and are feeling really good about themselves going into playoffs, I'm sure Portland is not thrilled that they have to play the Pelicans.
I agree 100%. I mean, this is a very hungry team. I mean, you think about it, Larry. I mean, other than Rajon Rondo, you've got a bunch of young veterans that haven't played much playoff. They haven't got much playoff experience. And so a guy like Anthony Davis, who's wanting to, I think, establish himself as a franchise player in this league, one of the top players in the league. This is his chance now. He's got the postseason stage to showcase his ability, and I think he's going to carry the team just as he's done down the stretch here, along with Drew Holiday.
And I think there's one thing. You mentioned Portland and how much of a hostile environment that is, and I think that's known league-wide. And yet the Pelicans – they don't really need home court advantage because they're one of the best road teams in the NBA. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's something that's been a strength of this team all year, and I think it's because they're not too young. You know, they've got a bunch of veteran guys like an Anthony Davis, like a Drew Holiday. Their leaders are guys that have been around the block in the NBA, but they're going into one of the more hostile places in the league. I mean, Portland, by comparison, the Blazers are basically the Saints of the NBA.
Right.
I mean, this is their big team. They have a soccer team there, the Portland Timbers, but traditionally this has been a Blazers town. They rally around the team, they pack the arena, and there's a reason the Pelicans have only won 4 of their last 16 games there. Now, they won two times in the last 2 years, so there's something to build on. But overall, they've struggled in this arena, as most teams in the NBA have. But I think because they've won there this year, it should give them a lot of confidence.
This should be an interesting series. There's no doubt about that. So follow all of our coverage of all things Pelicans at NOLA.com and in our print editions of the Times-Picayune. Of course, we're going to talk about it as the series goes on Duncan Holder, 10 a.m. to noon on Sports 1280, NOLA.com, and the iHeartRadio app. So for Jeff Duncan, I'm Larry Holder. Thanks for joining us.